You let this happen to me. You were supposed to protect me. Did you think I would forget? Did you think I would forgive? I will never forgive you, brother.
Attempting to change someone's fate or the fate of oneself is enough to send anybody to the brink of madness. Long ago, in the times of ancient Greece, the oracle foretold an event that would change the entire world, the destruction of Olympus and its gods. Only this destruction wouldn't come at the hands of the long-defeated Titans, but from the hands of the mortal marked warrior. Word of this prophecy caught the ear of Zeus, who, out of fear, sent the war gods Ares and Athena to the land of Sparta, hoping to capture this eventual bringer of Olympus's demise. It was in Sparta that the young Kratos and his even younger brother Deimos were growing up under the care of their vigilant mother, Callisto. The two brothers would train regularly with the traditional Spartan arms, the spear and shield, with dreams of being members of the great Spartan army. Kratos, being the older brother and, well, Kratos, was particularly hard-on and ruthless towards Deimos when training, forcibly teaching his younger brother the idea that
a Spartan warrior never lets his back hit the ground.
Underneath his tough exterior, Kratos of course cared very deeply for his brother and would protect him no matter what. Deimos, on the other hand, was a lot more kind and open about his feelings toward his family. Deimos also possessed another quality that made him even more different than his older brother, and that was the very familiar birthmark that covered his body. This birthmark is also why Ares and Athena were sent to Sparta in the first place. According to the gods on Olympus, Deimos was indeed the suspected mark warrior. As the two war gods searched for the boy, their army of centaurs was in the midst of massacring the population of Sparta. Amidst the chaos, Ares and Athena easily located Deimos as he was training with his brother. Deimos was abducted, but Kratos wasn't going to just let it happen. The young boy lunged to attack Ares, but was met with a swift punch that left a lifelong scar over his right eye. Ares would proceed to try and kill Kratos, but was stopped by Athena, since they had already found what they were after. The two gods then left, only after Athena apologized to Kratos. The lone boy felt responsible for his brother's kidnapping, and vowed to himself to never falter again. Eventually, Kratos would pay tribute to his brother by having his entire body tattooed with the image of Deimos' birthmark. Meanwhile, Deimos would be brought to Thanatos in the domain of death, where he would be tortured in every way possible to ensure that the marked warrior prophecy would never come to fruition. Deimos always believed that Kratos would arrive to save him, but after years of disappointment, this hope would become rage and resentment towards the family that abandoned him. As Deimos would only rot in the domain of death for many years to come, Kratos would go on to lead the Spartan army and eventually kill Ares to become the god of war. Kratos would end up being haunted by his past, and eventually decided to learn about it with some resistance from his fellow gods. This led him to the city of Atlantis, where he would find his mother in the temple of Poseidon. Callisto told Kratos that his then unknown father had brought her there and forced her to keep the secret that Deimos was alive and trapped in the domain of death, much to his surprise. Soon after, Callisto was transformed into a monstrous form, forcing Kratos to kill her. This threw the god of war headfirst into a long and perilous journey that finally ended with him freeing Deimos in the domain of death. And rather than thanking his brother for finally saving him, Deimos only wanted revenge for Kratos not being able to protect him or get there sooner, and then initiated a fight with his brother. Kratos was reluctant to hurt his own brother, and held back his powers as the god of war and allowed Deimos to beat him until they were interrupted by death itself, Thanatos, who took Deimos away. Deimos and Thanatos had a quick battle that resulted in Deimos being nearly pushed off of a cliff. Kratos is able to arrive and save his brother in time, the two reconcile and then go on to fight Thanatos together. Before their battle, the death god makes the realization that the marked warrior was never Deimos, but Kratos, who wore the ashes of his deceased wife and daughter, the reason that he was called the Ghost of Sparta. As the fight raged on, Deimos was shown to be quite naturally skilled as a warrior, possibly as a result of him also being the son of Zeus, and also his memory of all the training with Kratos as a child. This sibling team-up was short-lived though, as Thanatos would transform into a large beast and throw Deimos into the cliffside, killing him instantly. This sent Kratos into a fit of rage and resulted in a quick death for Thanatos. Upon the battle's end, the god of war could do nothing else but give his brother the proper burial that was coincidentally waiting for him, courtesy of their father in disguise. Kratos then placed Deimos into his grave, marking it with the arms of Sparta, and officially putting an end to a life of nothing but agony and torture. Deimos had finally been freed, but his death was not in vain, for it was the final action that caused Kratos to work towards putting an end to Olympus and the gods that had taken so much from him once and for all, ending with the marked warrior prophecy being fulfilled as predicted.